Learning Unreal Engine every day until I love myself. Day 3. Are we really sticking with that title? Today we're doing bones. Happy Halloween, everybody. We're doing bones. Before we get to Bone Town, I wanted to clean up these edge loops a little bit, right where the joints are going to be, and not just the exciting joints like the knees and the second knees, but also the hips and the ankles. Flatten the feet out until they look like mine, and then round out the face a little bit, because before it looked like it was ready to run Squid Games. It was a little pointy, it was a little 3D printed, and now it looks kind of froggy, and that's what I'm looking for. And before you know it, it's bone o'clock. I had a big center bone, put one end between the legs and the other end in the mouth, and then I realized I should have locked it to the y-axis, so I undo everything I did, and then I try again, and then I subdivide it. Bada bing, bada bone. Moving on to the front leg, what I do when I add bones and when I want things in a specific place, especially between a loop cut, is I just select all the vertices in the loop cut, and then I move the 3D cursor to that point, and then I tell the socket on the end of the bone to move to the 3D cursor, and then that places it dead center of the loop cuts, and I don't know why I don't see anyone else doing this. So I just go through and I do this to every single triple loop cut where I want a joint. And when I did this to the back leg, it looked really weird. Now that my bones are in place, I have to make sure the roll is correct, and I'm going to be honest, I don't really understand what this does, but I do understand that the X needs to be facing X-ward. So that's what I do here. I go to orthographic view, right hand side to look at the X point of view, and then I make sure that all these little red lines are, I don't know, flat and or up and down. I guess just generally pointing toward the X direction without any crazy rolling going on. And I again don't really understand why, but Grant said to do it, and Grant is my god. And for my next concept I barely grasp, we're going to do targets and poles on these bones. Starting with poles, as I understand it, the knee will bend toward these poles. So if we go ahead and tell Google exactly what we... So I guess we're using a bullfrog as our primary reference, and if you Google an image of them and look at their legs without telling Google, you can actually see that their arms basically bend like human arms.
Back and to the left.
Set the 3D cursor at the joint, set the rotation location, origination location, rotation to be at the 3D cursor, and then rotate it. Top down like that. Boom. Now for targets. What are targets? Well, targets are basically little handles that you can grab onto, and you can lift them up in the air, and when you lift them up in the air, it doesn't lift the whole leg with it. It basically tells the leg to bend at the knee, and this is really helpful in-game when they're standing on an uneven surface and one leg is higher than the other, so it has to bend upwards, but it's also just a useful thing to grab onto when you're animating. So I pop into pose mode, I select the center bone, I add a bone constraint. As the target, I select the armature, which refers to the skeleton. As the bone, I select the target bone. As the pole target, I select the armature skeleton again. And then as the bone for the pole, I select the pole bone. And that's that. And then it gets all fucked up. I'll have to fix that tomorrow. Thanks for watching. Love you. Bye.